Thanks for
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Hey guys, my name is Jade Cargill, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
Yes. Welcome back to Women's Wrestling Talk and our Honey Night SmackDown post show. Well, all right. A lot happened tonight, but I just want to give some people some time to come on into the room. Again, welcome to our Honey Night SmackDown post show here as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. And now we are going to get into the results of the evening and all that has transpired tonight on SmackDown, just ahead of Crown Jewel, which will be happening tomorrow. And a lot happened tonight. A lot definitely happened tonight. We started it off with the ladies. Nia Jax came out and pretty much started the confrontation between her and Liv Morgan, since they're going to be going at it, champion versus champion, tomorrow for the Crown Jewel Championship ring title or ring. Well, I guess in this case it's a ring. Let's see here. And with that, after that interaction, because of course Liv didn't come alone, she came with Raquel Rodriguez and Dirty Dominic Mysterio at her side, while Nia Jax came, as well as the Princess Tiffy in the Bank, who had some words for Nia Jax that were obviously a cause for concern. So it would seem that Nia needs to watch her back going into Crown Jewel this weekend, because though we know Tiffany Stratton can easily cash in on Liv Morgan, she can just as easily cash in on Nia Jax. And in this case, I wouldn't want her to bite the hand that fed her, but do you, boo-boo. Tiffy's choice will be made at some point, I'm sure, this weekend, if she decides to cash in at all, which is also another factor we have to consider. Sometimes it's just another tease, and you never know. They could be building this up with Tiffy for a while. But nevertheless, that interaction between those women led to a match with Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan, in which Liv Morgan came out on top. Obviously with a roll-up pin that was more towards the dirty roll-up pin side, while Tiffy also tried to take advantage of the situation by hitting Liv Morgan with the briefcase when the ref wasn't looking, and of course that didn't happen because Liv Morgan ended up outsmarting her. It was very good to see Tiffy and Liv. It's definitely a match I would want to see again on a grander scale, but that was a nice little test run, and I'll take it. We also had the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly in a tag team match. Pretty Deadly is coming out with their musical. They gave a copy to Lin-Manuel Miranda at ringside, and of course, the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly put on a great showing. The Street Profits did come out on top, with Montez getting the pin, and it's on to the next one for the Street Profits. I can't wait to see where this goes, especially now that we have a phenomenally built tag team division on SmackDown once again. So shout outs to the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly as well, and shout outs to the Motor City Machine Guns, because they are the tag team champions. Going further into the evening, we also had Naomi and Bayley versus Indi, Hartwell, and Candice LeRae. Now, of course, we know this show was pre-taped, so this was technically Indi Hartwell's last match on TV. Little did we know, and we wish her all the best. But nevertheless, it was a great match. I personally would have thought Candice LeRae would have got the upper hand on this one, but the power of being a horsewoman with Bayley, and of course having the glow and the tenure that Naomi has had throughout her career, it's kind of a hard team to stop right there. So shout outs to them, and shout outs to all four ladies for having a great match. Shout outs to everybody in the chat as well. Hearing Roman say yeet was insane. We're going to get into that in just a second. Cliff, good to see you. I missed the show. I have to watch it. I'm sure my tribal chief showed up to work. Oh, you best believe he did. He definitely did. And we're going to get into that right now because that's exactly what transpired after the women's match between Bayley and Naomi, as well as Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell. Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns, I almost call him Joe. Roman Reigns came to the ring, and Jimmy was pretty much asking Roman Reigns that he needs him and Jey Uso to squash their beef. We even had the chants coming out from the crowd saying squash the beef. Jey Uso came back and he said the only reason why he's doing this in the first place is to get back at Solo for costing me my Intercontinental title, as he rightfully should, therefore leading him to cost the new Bloodline their titles this past week against Motor City Machine Guns. Now, families fight, he said, but things are far from fixed between us. But if we're going to be together and do this together, we need to be equals. I'm your equal now. I'm not your lackey. I'm not your guard dog. You're not going to order me around or boss me around. You're going to treat me like an adult. You're going to treat me with respect. And if I even hear or see 1 ounce of disrespect, I'm out. And that's very valid, to which then led to a monumental moment in this Bloodline story. Roman responds with a yeet. He didn't do the hand gesture, but he said yeet. And we know in the first place, he hated that word. He was just like, no yeet this, no yeet that. Like, just stop saying that. But now it's time for Roman to turn a new leaf and embrace who your family has become. And yeah, because obviously we know Roman can't do this alone. You're not going to be able to go at this new Bloodline alone. You have Jacob, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Solo. There's 4 of them. There's still 3 of them. Who's going to be that 4th man? We don't know. I'm wondering where the final boss fits in all this. I'm wondering where our wise man is and when he returns. So still lots of questions, but they did respond by putting all their ones up at the end of the segment, which made me very happy because we're back in business. Bloodline, the OG Bloodline is back in business, and I need to see all your ones up, guys. I need to see all the ones up in the chat to acknowledge our tribal chief, and our OG Bloodline is back. Jeffrey says, shout out to Bayley and Naomi for the win. Cindy says, hashtag Roman paid for your TV deals. Jeffrey says, Bayomi. I like that. That's cute. So proud of Jay standing up for himself. Abusive former tribal chief. Hey, honey. Hey, Lewis Johnson. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Jeffrey says, all we was missing was Paul Heyman. I agree. Cindy says, I'm not going to lie. I think Sami Zayn sides with Solo. You know, if that happens, that's crazy, because then that would validate everything that Sami has said before. Remember the time when he was with Solo at a live event escorting Solo when he was a part of the Bloodline because he was an honorary Uso. What if, like, remember when he had the microphone and he was pretty much trying to make him laugh? And he's like, you see this guy right here? That is my dog. That is my Uso. And all that stuff. And so, you know, he was very supportive of Solo Sikoa. A lot, now that I think about it. He was very supportive of Solo Sikoa, but to play this two-phase game and not for nothing to stick your nose into family business is going to lead to a very big problem for you, sir. A very big problem. Because that's the one thing you don't do. And Jey Uso said it last night. You wouldn't understand. It's family. And you're not family, Uso. So, Sami, if I were you, I would stay away from all of it, including Solo. But I like the stirring of the pot. I like it. Duran, thank you so much for joining us again as well. But yes, Roman has yet to apologize or show any kind of forgiveness or any kind of acknowledgement or accountability for his actions during his title reign and the way he viewed Jimmy and Jay, the way he spoke to them and treated them. Don't know. And the way he looked so surprised while Jey Uso was coming out and he could see how far Jay has come and how much Jay has grown and how much he has been able to captivate this audience and make it his. Might have to start acknowledging. You better acknowledge your cousin, Roman. I love you and I will acknowledge you as my tribal chief, but you need to acknowledge your cousins, okay? You need to let them know. Cliff says, honey, this is just as much Sammy Uso business. This is not Sammy Uso's business. Sammy ended being part of this business a while ago. He abandoned Kevin Owens. He like he don't even get me started on that. We could have a whole nother conversation about that, but we'll do that next time. Cindy says he upgraded his theme music to sound even bigger headed. Cindy. Oh man. So 2 more matches happened in the evening after that segment with the Bloodline. We had a fatal 4-way match with IYO SKY, Bianca Belair, Lash Legend, and Piper Niven. Wasn't for anything crazy. It was mostly for bragging rights, but because tomorrow we know that the fatal 4-way match is going to be a tag team match with the titles on the line during Crown Jewel. But this match nevertheless was so good. All the girls gave it everything they got. All the women were very highly involved, even the ones that were not even in the match. You had some chaos going on outside. IYO SKY was definitely a highlight in this match. And Cindy made a great point when we were live that IYO SKY has come out on top on Bianca Belair for quite some time, and it's going to piss Jade off. And she believes that IYO SKY will be the reason why the big 2 out of 3 break up when it happens. And that's probably what a lot of people have been anticipating for quite some time, because the minute we saw Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair in the same ring together, everybody's like, oh my God, they're going to be in a match together. They're going to face off. Nobody would have predicted them being tag team champions. Nobody would have predicted that, but I'm glad they did it. And they're having a great run. But I've seen the look on Jade Cargill's face. And IYO has had the upper hand on Bianca for a few times now. They went toe-to-toe a few weeks ago on Raw, was it? Yeah. We're going to need to really, really get down to the nitty-gritty with those two. But as a result of everything that happened, even including the chaos with Chelsea Green and everybody else outside, IYO SKY defeated Piper Niven, Belair, and Lash Legend as well. She got the pin, and she was able to take advantage of Bianca Belair's come up during the match, because Bianca Belair was pretty much had that match won, and IYO SKY came through with the moonsault and pinned Bianca. And that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild to say. IYO SKY definitely has their number. Lash Legend was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal tonight. I can't wait to see more of these ladies, especially her and Jakara Jackson, finally able to come into their own. I know in NXT they did as well, but I feel like they're really going to grow from here, and I'm so here for it. So shout outs to the ladies for being the co-main event of the evening. And of course, we ended it with our main event with Randy Orton teaming up with the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes versus the world heavyweight champion Gunther and his partner and sidekick Ludwig Kaiser. Now, this match kind of went exactly the way I'd expected it to. I knew Randy and Cody would come out on top and get the win, and therefore leading into what's going to be transpiring for tomorrow. But Gunther and Ludwig did not make it easy. It was very good back and forth. But unfortunately, after they got the win, Kevin Owens came out and jumped Randy Orton, while Gunther choked out Cody Rhodes in a sleeper. And that's pretty much where they left it at the end of the show. And it wasn't as exciting as it was last week, but I think a lot of the excitement is going to come, especially when we go into Crown Jewel, because usually all the hype around the PLE is where it's at anyway. But nevertheless, this was a great go home show. This was a great go home week before we get to Crown Jewel, because now next all we have to do is get ready for War Games, and that's going to be fun. I can't wait. We also have our matches for tomorrow night, so I'll just go over those quickly. We have 7 matches tomorrow night for Crown Jewel. Of course, we have Roman Reigns, the Usos versus they're calling it Roman Reigns, Jay, and the Usos versus the Bloodline. We got the OG Bloodline versus the Timu Bloodline tomorrow night in a 6-man tag match. And the contestants that will be defending the Timu Bloodline will be Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. Tonga Loa will be at ringside tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, whatever it is, time differences and everything. Cousin Ron, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the women's tag team champions, will be going against Damage Control, the Meta Girls, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with the titles on the line. That's going to be absolutely nuts. We also have LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Please put the nail in the coffin and be done with this. Be done with it. I do call Carmelo Hayes winning this. I did say I think Jade and Bianca are going to keep their titles. And of course, I'm rooting for my OTC all the time, all day, every day. And then we also have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I believe Kevin Owens will win. And then we also have Seth freaking Rollins versus Bronson Reed. This will be Seth's first match back since Mania. Cannot wait to see him in the ring. Hopefully he's recovered very well and is feeling in really, really good shape to get through this match, because he's going to need a lot in the tank to go against big man Bronson Reed. We also have the women's titles. The singles match for the inaugural Women's Crown Jewel Championship. So it's champion versus champion. We have Liv Morgan versus Queen Nia Jax, women's champion as well, for the championship for Crown Jewel, as well as Cody Rhodes and Gunther for the men's. I pick Nia for the women's, and I pick Gunther for the Crown Jewel Championship for the men's. I really, really hope that it's going to be a great turnout. Ooh. I think it's going to be a great turnout. Cindy says, do you think we get more of Punk at Survivor Series? We absolutely will. That's when he came back last year. It would only make sense. I think that would very much make sense. Cousin Ron says, I think this is a way to once again get the titles off Jade and Bianca. Interesting. I kind of don't see them losing it yet. I must be like one of the only people in the world who do not want Jade and Bianca broken up. I don't know why. I just don't want them broken up yet. I feel like it's still too soon. I've been having so much fun with them being together. I don't want them to ruin it. But what do I know? I'm not a booker. But nonetheless, guys, that is pretty much the end of all the events tonight. Stay tuned for Women's Wrestling Talk. We might have a post show or a watch along of some sort. Not quite sure yet, but we will get that together. But stay tuned either way. Don't forget, you guys can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with the WWT Live crew. All things Wrestling with Honey on the socials, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Don't forget to like and subscribe my new YouTube, the Wrestling with Honey podcast as well. And check me out here every Friday. I'm here every Friday. We do our Honey Night SmackDown watch alongs, and it's always a good time here. And I'm so glad that I was able to do this. This was such a great show, and I love doing this. I can't wait to do it again next week, because it just makes my day that much better. And I always appreciate everybody's energy in the chat. Cindy, Cliff, Lewis, Jeffrey, Dad, Deron, cousin Ron. Appreciate you all. You guys are the best. Shout outs to Bobby. Shout outs to my niece Jada. Shout outs to Pachu. Shout outs to I'm trying to think of everybody else who was on the other stream. Mr. Opinionated. If there was anybody I missed, please don't be upset with me. I will see you on the other side. See you next time. I will be back here Monday with the crew. So stay tuned and enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Enjoy Crown Jewel. Enjoy all the wrestling festivities that we got going on. Don't forget to check all of our stuff here. All of our things we got going on here. Women's Wrestling Talk, www.talkpod.com. Get some merch. Tell your friends all about it. Yeah, indeed, Cindy, that part. Have a good night's sleep because tomorrow's going to destroy us. Indeed. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you too, cousin Ron and Jeffrey. You guys are the best. Yeah, www.talkpod.com for all the cool merch, all the interviews, and all the content we got going on, as well as shout outs to our amazing sponsors at All Caribbean Wrestling. Shout outs to everybody else at the WWT Live crew and team. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all have a great weekend. You take care too, Lewis. Thank you guys so much. I am your hostess, Wrestling with Honey, signing off tonight from our Honey Night SmackDown post-show review and our Honey Night SmackDown watch along. Signing off as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good weekend, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.